Did I cosplay Session 𝙨𝙧𝙀𝙀 just so I could dance with the yassified fiddlesticks? Yes, I did. Before I jump into the video, I'd like to point out that the war in Ukraine still goes on, which is why I'm doing everything that I can to assist my mom and her organization, who are currently in Ukraine, and who purchase and provide necessary aid, be it to regular civilians or the territorial defense. Any sum will help, so if you'd like to support our cause, you can check out our crowdfund and/or purchase a Star Guardian skin with my official Riot link, which I'll leave in the description down below. Thanks so much, and Slava Ukraini! Hello my fellow warriors, hope you're doing well. Now for those who don't know me, hi, my name is Dinka and I react to videos, break down lore, and simp every single 2D character you can think of because my degeneracy transcends reality and it is a superpower I take pride in and allow others to behold. Now I know that some of you might find it surprising that an alt girl like me would be into something so cute and adorable like Star Guardians, but I'm not like other girls. No, seriously though, because if you've ever actually watched Mahou Shoujo series, you would have understood where our aesthetics come from. Baddies with badass hair and makeup and cute dudes in chokers and crop tops? Yeah, our style is basically I'm in my villain arc and no, you cannot fix me. There's also plenty of characters in the Star Guardian universe, none of which I'm really a big fan of, besides your daughter also calls me daddy and this absolute fucking menace.
Also Nico, but that's because she's a strong tomato and I would literally die for her.
But the Riot Squad had decided to go the extra mile this year with bringing out not just Morgana in all of her evil glory, but fucking fiddlesticks! And that's just any fiddlesticks, yassified fiddlesticks! Who's pretty much the reason why I created that. No, there's a lot of history in the Star Guardian universe, but it's important to know the history so you'll have context before watching a video that is all about it. So I TLDR'd 5 years of lore into a couple of minutes, starting with, who are the Star Guardians? The Star Guardians are young warriors who are chosen by fate to protect the light of the stars. Their destinies to burn bright but collapse as furiously as they shine. Yes, not very wholesome, huh? Yes, the visuals are very Sailor Moony, but the premise is pretty fucking dark. It's not as emotionally draining as Madoka Magica or as graphic as Yuki Yuna wa Yusha, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows with a cute cat boy on the side. God, I'm so happy I'm over my cat boy phase. I can't. Rail me. So what actually happened in the Star Guardian universe and why are there so many teams? So in the beginning, the first star gave its light to create the universe, which created new worlds and with it people, animals, and even trees because it was lonely. The problem was that they all carried a little bit of its light, which could attract darkness. So the solution to that was the Star Guardians, who were born based on their strength, resolve, and courage. The first Star Guardians who were chosen were said to be very powerful, but as was said before, those who burn bright burn quickly. Also naturally, sometimes you don't want to take the role of becoming a world savior. And there was a Star Guardian like that. Someone who decided that she'd had enough of the cycle and just wanted to be herself. It was also said that she was the first one who came to be in a system full of darkness, and because her corner of the galaxy was so dark, she brought her sisters with her. For a time they were happy, and she was happy with them. But then a huge battle broke through, and a great evil came in and took all of her sisters, leaving her all alone. But instead of staying sad, she became very, very angry and turned away from the first star's light, following the evil to where it came from and hoping she could find some way to undo her destiny. Which leads me to believe that that might be Zoe because based on her new bio, she was in fact a member of the ancient first group of Star Guardians whose heart no longer desires love, but absolute fucking chaos. And is also might be the reason why she corrupts other Star Guardians as to not be on her own, or just to fuck with the first star. Now Ari's team pre-existed Lux's. So the original team consisted of her, the charismatic leader, Sarah, the second in command, Zaya, Rakan, and Nico. But after losing their battle to Zoe, Nico, 𝙤𝙬, and 𝙗𝙗 were abandoned by 𝙬𝙬 and 𝙤𝙬, who believed that they were dead. All while in reality, Nico just went into hiding, and 𝙤𝙬 and 𝙗𝙗 became hosts to Zoe's corruption. 𝙬𝙬 and 𝙤𝙬 then ventured on a journey to find new teammates. Soraka, the cute airhead who remembers the time when the Starlight was whole, Syndra, whose background is still a mystery but is known to be OP as fuck, and Ezreal, who can go through portals and who also might have a crush on Lux, which means that boy is bi! And I can't wait to see whether or not we're getting a love triangle when Echo joins the story. If you're unaware of the history between Echo and Ez, I'll leave a link to that too. Lux, who was also chosen by the Light, went on to creating her own team, with Jinx, who is the cynical rebel who can care less about her duties unless she gets to blow shit up. Lulu, who's the eccentric baby that has a unique relationship with the Starlight herself. Janna, Lux's mentor and veteran, whose backstory we haven't learned of yet. And Poppy, who sees everything in black and white and takes her responsibilities very seriously. At first, this group's biggest issue was them being teenagers, Lux having zero leadership skills or confidence, and Jinx, who just wouldn't want to do her fucking job. But after Lux gets her shit together, Jinx realizes that low-leveled supports, a tank, and a mage can take over Baron, so she stops griefing and joins her team. Now, eventually, the two teams end up meeting each other, and Lux realizes that she's not like the cool kids. Because while her innocent and jolly ass self fights to fulfill her destiny, Ahri, who's scarred as fuck, just wants to break the cycle of everyone's inevitable doom. But when Zoe comes in like that one dude from Bubble Trouble, the teams put their differences aside and end up fighting together. After Loki avoiding their impeccable doom, Lux wants Ahri to take over as a team leader. But Ahri refuses, as all she wants is to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself, which forces Lux to do it herself. To bring the teams together, Lux then plans out a slumber party where they all get to know each other, while in the meantime Ahri goes into the Chaos Realm to secretly bust Nico out of hiding and save her from Zoe's clutches. So all of that was the previous lore, and now Cat released 14 more chapters, which left me in pain but also in tears. I wouldn't go into too many details because I highly suggest you go and check out the story yourself, because Kat truly did an amazing job of catching every bit of emotion, action, and heartbreak in her writing. I know that 14 chapters might seem overwhelming, but trust me, you won't regret it. Also, spoiler alert, because I'm about to TLDR 14 whole chapters, so if you still want to read the story yourself, you can just skip to my reaction, and I will leave a link to that down below, and if not, let's get started. The story first introduces us to Kai'Sa and Akali, and their super adorable and heartwarming friendship. Akali is the roughed-up tomboy who gets into fights, and Kai'Sa is the perfect popular girl who comes for the aid of all her loved ones. Neither is introduced as a Star Guardian, so their main role is basically to prove everyone that friendship is magic, and the main focus goes on to Sarah and Ahri, who fight their past demons, who are 𝙤𝙬 and 𝙗𝙗. The two show up in Valorant City to steer some trouble and make it double, but mostly for 𝙤𝙬 to get her revenge on the two who abandoned her, all while Zoe is hysterically laughing in the background as 𝙤𝙬's pain and rage makes her stronger. Sarah is shocked because she had no idea that 𝙤𝙬 and 𝙗𝙗 were still alive. Homegirl suffered for years for leaving them behind, just for them to show up yelling and calling her out in her face, which is when Lux realizes that it's too much for her to handle because it's too personal. So she commands her to back the fuck up while her and the team take the lead. Sarah then proceeds to go and save Akali, who beats the fuck out of her. Akali was minding her own business when they all started fighting and blowing shit up. So as much as Sarah wants to help her, Akali doesn't see her as a hero, but in fact as someone who's no different than those she's fighting against. Especially when she overheard the fact that they used to be friends. I actually really like this realistic aspect of the story, because by the end of the day, these so-called Star Guardians come in, blow shit up, destroy buildings, kill people on accident, all while resolving their personal fucking disputes. Like, the fuck? Anyway, they end up calming down, and Akali tells Sarah that she needs to find Kai'Sa in the rubble because she believes she was buried alive. She starts digging through and yelling while Sarah is just standing on the side being like, bro, why bother? She might be dead. But unfortunately, they don't find Kai'Sa and believe that she's dead. Meanwhile, Zoe and Syndra duking it out, which basically shows us how truly OP Syndra is, and Sarah joins in to help her, leaving Akali hidden. Sarah gets hit in the back, which pretty much starts corrupting her and burning into her flesh. Kaisa shows up out of nowhere to morally support Sarah, and 𝙗𝙗 joins them right after. At that moment, 𝙨 and 𝙗𝙗 show up as well. Lux and their squad come to their aid, and right about when Sarah's about to pass out, Ari and Nico show up out of nowhere and make things worse. Because before that, 𝙨 believed that there were 2 people who abandoned her, and now there are 3 because Nico never fucking died. There's like this extremely emotional back and forth where 𝙨 is like screaming and yelling, and you can really empathize with her like pain and frustration and anger, because while Sarah believed that they were still dead, Ari knew that 𝙨 was still alive and still chose to abandon them. Obviously, Ari explained, and she was like transparent about it, and she told them that she couldn't risk Sarah being killed by Zoe as well, because there was like a low chance of 𝙨 surviving, which 𝙨 doesn't take lightly, and Sarah's like losing it. Basically, everyone's crying, everyone's mad, but eventually they end up like mending all of this, and 𝙨 and Rakan switch sides to fight Zoe and get back at her. And Zoe is not happy. She starts raining comments at everyone and amplifying 𝙨 and Rakan's corruption. Rakan then drops to the ground with 𝙨 and holds her closely in his arms, while she goes full Black Swan on him. That's when he realizes that the only thing he can do to save the love of his life is to yeet himself at Zoe, and sacrificing his own life to save hers. And boy, did that entire scene fucking break me. 𝙨 realizes what he's about to do and begs him not to do it, while Rakan is holding her in his arms and telling her how proud he is of her and how he'll save her because that's what princes do. She screams no and begs him not to do it, but he insists that this is his moment and their one and only chance to defeat Zoe. That's when he simply says protect her and lets go of his bravado by coughing up the corruption which fills his lungs, eyes, and mouth, completely taking over him. He nods at Ari, and everyone uses their powers to help him pierce through Zoe with all of their mixed magics, as 𝙨 watches her husband die a second time right before her very eyes. Psych! He's not actually dead. A comic came right after the cinematic, and now we know that he's actually still alive, and 𝙨 is trying to find him, which is what this season is going to be all about. And now, after covering majority of the Star Guardian lore, it's time for us to enjoy yet another cinematic. So without further ado, let's get started. So Johnny told me that I should hold on to one of my many children as emotional support. So I'm gonna take Beffy over here, my little Bephomet, and hopefully this is not going to fuck me up, because I don't want to fix my makeup. Oh my god. Please don't destroy me. Please don't do that. Aww. Aww. Okay, so it's going to be 𝙗𝙗 and 𝙨. No! No, you're not gonna do this! You're not gonna give me a fucking slideshow, are you? Oh god, please don't do this to me. Oh my god, this is amazing. Oh, this is so pretty! Make a whole series! Now! A movie, please! She's chasing after his feather! No, don't do this! No, I'm weak! I'm so weak to that! No, you have no idea how much I cried during the story! No! Oh, Lux! No, not the tears! Not the anime tears, please! Don't do this! Don't tell me that I don't have to cry, I'm gonna sob! No! It's okay, I'm strong, I can do this, I can do this. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. Oh no! Oh no. No, the breakdown. Oh no, my baby! I can't! She's not alone! Stop! Oh my god, fuck. The song is such a bop. Oh my god, fuck. Anyway, so first of all, the song is amazing and the visuals are literally Kimi no Na wa level of epic. The story will clearly focus on 𝙨 trying to find Rakan and 𝙨 trying to reach 𝙗𝙪𝙨, while they both end up becoming the leaders of their own teams, with 𝙨 leading Thalia, Nilah, Echo, and Sona, and 𝙨 leading Senna, Seraphine, and Orianna, with Lux making a cameo at some point. Now, as I was uncontrollably sobbing, I saw both 𝙗𝙪𝙨 and Rakan together, which brings me to believe that the teams will eventually cross paths and maybe even work together. I guess the story of how 𝙗𝙪𝙨 and 𝙨 became Star Guardians will be told in the visual novel and the comic, so for that I'll be streaming the gameplay on Twitch during the weekends. Huge props to the people at Riot who really stepped up and stuck to the characters and lore this time. Because so far I've enjoyed every single moment during this event, and I hope that this is gonna stay for future projects as well. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for the algorithm. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can check out my Patreon, donation page, or buy a Star Guardian skin with my affiliate link. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.